Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I'm your host, Mary Ellen. This episode is probably, started the timer, hour-long craft with me where I'm going to be working on my Apple journal. And we can review the results of what happened yesterday in the paint room. I'm just fuffing around here. I have a cup of tea. It is early Saturday morning and it is trying really hard to snow. So my aim is to do an hour of this isn't that, and I'm sure we'll be able to get something accomplished and then go for a walkie walk. So let's have a look at what we wrought yesterday. I don't have a book press, but I do have that monstrously large dictionary and a 12 by 12 frame, you know, those card, like thick card picture albums. So I put the picture album on the bottom, the paper, the dictionary, and then about 3 feet of other books. So I would say that it is as good as any other press out there. So first thing I did was, well, it's not the first thing I did, but top of here is a, oh, that's fun. What is this? This is a tea-dyed envelope. Tea-dyed paper. Okay, so here are my two apples. So this is a bit apple, this is the apple, and then I have done it on both sides. And it didn't matter to me that it was a beautiful paint job. It just mattered to me that we were able to do some things. Oh, I must show you. This is hilarious to me. So this was supposed to be a series. This was supposed to be the apple, the bitten apple, and the apple core distributed in equal portions throughout the journal. Now the apple, I was able to just print. One of these things does not match the others. It's hilarious to me that this is a green apple, so I have got to do this. But this is essentially the green apple, and what I want to do is put that on the back like that, and then have a side pocket, but I have to change the color. So that's A, annoying, and B, one of the things that I have to do, but I'm not going to do it at this session. I might do that offline. So we've got those. Why was this here? Oh, I know, this was here because I wasn't sure whether or not there was any paint left, and I didn't want it to contaminate this. So I have tea-dyed doily, tea-dyed paper, and let's start sort of grouping this. So put the tea-dyed over here, tea-dyed over here, and then this is also tea-dyed over here. Oh my goodness. Oh, what does that say? I don't think it says anything. What are these? Rolodex cards. So I was able to grab some Rolodex cards and throw them in the pot, which I very much like as like a different color. I did some, these are not 3x5s, they're 4x6s. These turned out yellow, which is pretty funky. Oh, I got a little stamp there. These are old cards, so the age may have something to do with why it turned out the way it did. I have one piece of paper. I have one piece of paper because it was available and I threw it in, and I wasn't going to go look for the rest of the pad, but that also turned out really well. Another piece of paper, another doily. And I think what happened here was I thought I only had one doily, and I actually had two, and then they came apart, and I was like, oh, okay, double the fun. Double the fun. This is something that we jelly printed. Might go like that. And I tea dyed it just to be able to take it off the bright white. I also tea dyed this so that this would have an off color as well. And then I did I can do it in this order. Okay, we'll just do these one by one. Dictionary page, tea dyed. This turned out really nice. I love the way this is looking. I've got some tea dyed pages, which I think are going to be useful. So one of the things that I learned in the Mass Make March, what was the item? The button cards, where there is a sort of an insert of white in the background. And I think what I might be able to do with one or two of the pages in the journal is create something that's this large and use that as a similar kind of insert, but not sort of sew on any buttons. Some more Rolodex cards. And some more dictionary pages, which have also turned out really nicely. So that, I think, is the results of the tea dyeing. This is the results of the book press. We still need to sort out all the other stuff that we did. Here we are. Put that aside, put that aside, and then drop that neatly up there. And then this is probably, I laid out all the pages on the floor, like 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page, 5 page. And this is probably a collection of some of that. And I think underneath is some of the other stuff that we printed. So we'll be able to sort them back and forth. And before I do the signature, I think that's the way I'm gonna lay it out. I realize that when most people select the journal pages, they are sitting at a desk and they are filming it. And I think I am going to get some value out of being able to see all of the pages spread out. And it'll be just a temporary use of a large space on the floor, and that'll be fine. So this is a page. This is going to be a page. I think I'm going to use one of these as a page. I wish this had been one of the tea dyed things. And this might also be a fun place to be able to put a one of those sort of cutout pages. This is page, this is page, this is page. This is just fun page. I just like the way that turned out. Blank page, 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 page. Okay, now we get into what we did for jelly. Oh my goodness sakes, little Lucy Boo Cat. What are you doing back there? She's running around like a mad fool. But she's quiet, so we'll give her that. So, what is this? This is the second pull. I'll need a white sheet. It's too bad I don't have paper. Use this and flip this over. So this is the second pull. This is the original. And this is the first pull. So I was able to get 3 images. So the process that I used was I went to, this is from the Graphics Fairy. This originally is a black and white photograph. I used these kind of Conti pastel pencils, colored them in, then transferred them just like that onto a jelly plate. And then I lifted this first image using a light paint and then there was still image left, and I was able to lift that. And then I went back with this, and I sealed this with Mod Podge. And this turns out really smooth. This might be the fun one to do with a shaker card. It's either going to be this one or the other one. So anyways, that's one set. And then the second set is this, and I was able to create a page, which I think is pretty fun. And I did the same kind of sealing, and so this might also be another great candidate for a shaker card. Another thing that I can do with this, obviously, is do some outlining with black marker or something permanent. I'm not sure if I would want to do that because it's going to bleed through, so I'd have to be careful about what kind of marker. So I wouldn't use necessarily a Sharpie, but maybe I've got one here, something like this, which is a permanent liner, but it's much thinner. So we've got those. This was a lift off. So this was one side, this is the other, and then this is a lift of this paint here. And so I have some tissue paper scrap, which is kind of fun. This one didn't turn out all that well, but I do like this, and this might be, again, another candidate for putting on some square pieces. And I'm deliberately just getting a little bit of a sorting happening over here. These are the two envelopes. These are both upside down. So here's the window envelopes. This turned out better than I expected. Jelly plating this will turn out really well. You don't have to be that hyper careful about these edges if you have a damp cloth with you to immediately wipe off the paint, and it comes out clear as clear. Okay, well let's see if that schmutz comes off. The schmutz comes off. So really, really great. To me, an advancement, because I always have a lot of trouble. I really love to preserve that sort of hard, clean edge. But those are amazing envelope bases for my use anyways. And we have one that's kind of a green and one that's kind of a yellow that's got a leafy print on it. So those turned out well. Very happy with that. What else is in here? So this is one of the larger pages, so I want to be able to do something along those lines and then have those as pages, and then pocket pages for the other ones, because who doesn't need a pocket? And then that's quite nice. And I might be able to do it a little bit lower and then have a bit of red on this side, but they're absolutely the colors of the journal and will need work done. I think one of the problems that I had with this was too much paint. Too much paint is a story of my life. At the moment, I believe that there is an opportunity to improve and change. And let's see what we have here. Let's do some more of this leaf printing. This is also the same idea. Leaf printing, creating an envelope, and then that. Or we could just use it as part of the base, and then this be the journaling spots. Not sure. Here. Some roll-off sheets. So this is one. Here's the other. That one's fairly dull. And then there's this one, and this and this, I think, were from the last time I was jelly printing, and then this is sort of the pickup. So useful to have that as, you know, making for tabs and whatnot. And then here is my alphabet trials and tribs. So this was the first one that I did. So I am trying to create letter squares out of a wooden arrangement that I got at the dollar store. This one didn't work so well. Not a very even pressing down, and I was using my using my hands and not using something to press down on the wood in a more even way. So the second one turned out much better. Lots more coverage, much crisper image. You can see how well defined the little edges are here, whereas here they look completely different. So happy with that. And I wanted to change the colors. So I did that. Too much paint, but there are a couple of usable letters there. And then this is perfect amount of paint. So I have two good images with a nice selection of letters, as well as some spares, let's say. If I need an extra T or an extra, you know, G or something, it's available to me, and that'll be fine. I don't think I need much more than that, because too much will be too much. I can also use this on other elements as well, so it won't go to waste. And then this was just a pull-off of the residual, which also will be a nice piece of tissue paper that's got some color and interest. So that is what we were able to do. And now, so where are, just gonna pull out the two shaker cards, and those go over there. Yes, they do. So later today, I will have to fix that green apple or make a new one. I will have to get the signatures selected, spread it all out on the floor, and then pick the final ones. I want to do a shaker card, so let's put this aside for the second. I did another Suffolk puff with a napkin, starting to get better. So this is first, second, third. This one is very chunky in the middle. I suspect that you could probably spray it with water and then also use it in the book press to make it even flatter if you wanted to. And this is my first one with an actual piece of fabric. And this is my heart's desire because it is so regular. If I do them by hand, it has a slightly irregular quality, and it makes my brain really happy to see that kind of regularity in a Suffolk puff. And so you'd be able to do something like that. Maybe that one might be better. This one actually looks khaki. It didn't look khaki when I pulled it out, but this really looks khaki and it really doesn't fit with the overall theme. But these would be fine. Do something like that. And if I had a wee tiny red button, I don't have a wee tiny red button, but I have a wee tiny red bead, they would turn out really nicely. Or even just a small piece of paper you could punch out in a circle. So those are those. I've got 3 now, and I have 1 square of this napkin left, and I might just finish it so that I can finish it. We have these 3 made. I'm going to do it this way. This is turning into a very green journal, so I have to be mindful of keeping the red, or using the red as an accent. This image bothers me terribly because if 37 is the right way up, this looks like an upside down apple to me. Right side up apple, upside down 37. Not happy with that. So these are some things that I can fussy cut. I have folded and trimmed this envelope. It's going to be another pocket. And then some more bits and pieces. That's silly 37. Some more images. And I've put them in different sizes, so I have the option of picking out which one I want to use under which case, and I might be able to use them again. So there is that is also ready to go. Also did a little bit of work, and I think this is what I want to work on now, which is the cover, which, like this, looks like a bit of a mess. But it won't be a bit of a mess forever. I'm just going to have a gulp of tea, and oh, look at that, the sun came out. Oh, that's good. It'll make my walk to the library ever so much more pleasant. So what do we have here? This is fiber that is sort of a limey green. It's probably gonna read white. I have this lace, which is, if I do this, there's a corner, there's another corner. So what this is the crocheted lace of a linen napkin, and I dyed the linen napkin separately. I think I got 8 of them or something at a thrift store, and I dyed them separately, and I thought, oh, you know, it'd be fun to just have them as decoration. So I have an idea for how to use these. So we'll put that aside. And then, oh yes, so this is the inside of what I want to use as the journal. So this is painted. It is jelly printed, so this is a leaf stencil, and I just put a leaf stencil on each side. A little bit of a gap here, not worried about it. Gap here, not worried about it. The signature, let's say, is going to go here, so that line isn't going to be as weird looking. And there is space here for me to do other stuff, and there's likely going to be some kind of card in here or something that goes in here. So this is a technique that I'm probably going to use more than once. The canvas comes from the hardware store, and it's part of a drop sheet. And if you think about the price that you pay for the drop sheet and then the square footage or the yardage that you get, it's bananas. It's very, very inexpensive. And this is a decent quality. It's thick enough, but not too thick. And then that will be the inside cover. Put that aside. And then it's not going to go that way. It's going to go this way. This is what I think at the moment is going to be the journal. Get rid of that. And so this is a rough pin, just so that I could keep placement because I need to fix the edges and so forth. So this backing is an old sheet that I have reclaimed. And the size of this is, the journal should be 9 by 12, and this is 10 by 13. And I usually do a slightly larger cover, focusing on the middle out and out, because as you stitch, you lose real estate, because the stitching has this wave to it and kind of compacts the fabric. So I give myself a little bit of space on each side. So that's a lot of preamble to, oh my God, can we just not start on doing the journal? So let's get after it. At a time check, we've got, I always start at 0, so we're looking for 60 minutes. So we've got 35 minutes to play with the cover, which if you were a fabric nerd, that'll be fun, I hope. So I am going to, first of all, unpin some of this and get this on straight. There we are. I feel like I should iron these because they're not ironed. I wonder if I can iron it after. What's this? There's a lump. It's probably threads. Oh, no, it's not. Come here. So that corner isn't perfect, but that's all right. So there we are. And I need to have the good scissors. Here are my good scissors, my fabric scissors, and I, much like the glitter rule that I have in this house, if I ever catch you using these scissors for anything other than fabric, listen to my voice. Wow, I am passionate about this. I will take them from you, and I might slap you. I am not a fan of violence, but these are fabric scissors, and they're very expensive, good fabric scissors. Okay, so that's going to be the placement of one, let's just say. Come on. There. And then this, oh, this is a stupid place to put the pin. Put it down here. So the next thing I want to do is place, I think what I might do is place this and then go away and iron the bits. I kind of want to do that. And then capture that piece there. And then maybe this bottom is where I lose some of the pieces. So I am going to go to there. And I am going to stop about here, we think. Yep. And then rip it this way. I love the ripped edge of this. I think this actually might be the, is this? No, this was a beautiful piece of fabric that I got for a dress. And I tried to make the dress and it didn't turn out, which sometimes happens. And then it was a large, a longish, a voluminous, that's what I'm gonna call it, dress. And I ended up abandoning it, and so I reclaimed the fiber, and it's just this beautiful, almost linen-y cotton, and I'm getting very sad to see the end of it because it means that I will have no more of it. So of these pieces, I'm probably going to put this one back in my fabric stash, and I'll probably put this one back in my fabric stash because these are my little precious bits. But I will probably keep this out because this looks like it's a perfect size for like a tab or something. Okay, so next one. Wow, that's just really off the angle. Now this has got to come as a duo. So step one, one of the things that I have been looking at a lot on YouTube is crazy quilts. And so I'm thinking that I might do something with the seams here to attach them. I'm not sure yet. That's another swig of tea. I'll just scooch that over just a bit. There we are. I need enough pin. I don't have sharp pins anymore. Okay, we're just not going to worry about that for a minute. The This one is going to go on top. I'll peel that back. And then what's going to happen with this one? So, some items of discussion. First one is, let's line that up. I'm not going to be able to use that edge, so I can probably tear that off. Oh, I can hear blue jays outside. They are saying, hey lady, go to the library. Feed us some peanuts. More bits. Get rid of this fiber, this thread. There we are. Now, which way did I have this? No, it wasn't that way, this way. There we are. So that's the line. That goes there. That goes all the way across. And then this will go all the way up like that. And I, technically speaking, could cut some of this off. I could cut it off here for sure. Maybe I won't. Will I or won't I? I don't know. That might be thick. I could do that there too. You know what? I'm not gonna worry. So there's that. And we might lose that edge. Okay, and so let's just plunk it in here anywhere. And then I really love that. I have no idea. This is probably a shape of something that I cut out as needing. And then I just grabbed a scrap of something to dye, or to dye with. And that's how this beautiful shape came to be. And I am loving it. That's also interesting too. It's like that where that fold is, the dye sort of absorbed well. And then we have the greeny green. So where are we here? This probably fits quite well. I want to make sure that's like that. Did I run out of pins? No, not yet. I have one more that I can see. Oh, there we are. I think I may need a couple more though. Yes. Yes. There. And I need probably 2 more. Be right back. Hey Lucy Boo, what are you doing? Have a little sun bath? It's pretty great, isn't it? It's pretty great. Yeah. Come here, Doodle. Come here. Come here, Doodle. Atta girl. Oh, I know. So I've disturbed little Lucy sun bath. Here's little Lucy sun bath. Hey, Boo. Are you happy? You are not happy, are you? No, you're not. There we are. Anyways, that's our executive producer of the show that I just disturbed. I forget. Whoops, careful. What are you doing, you silly bean? There you are. All right. Enough faffing around here. I'm gonna cause an injury for either her or me. It's probably gonna be me over her. Here we are. And I kind of want to just pin that curve just because it's a curve. Here we are. There. So I need to cut this bit off. There. Another bit for the, oh, isn't that nice? Do I have 3 different colors? No, 2. That's all right. Okay. Doesn't look much like an apple journal yet, but you know, that's all right. We're working on it. We're working. We could also use these as patches. Oh, yes. I like that a lot. It seems to have visual function. I don't know if that's a thing, but having it touch something else I think looks all right. Oh, okay, well then I just used them all. That's all right, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I don't know what I'm gonna do for ties yet. This green silk that I pulled originally does not go. 100% does not go. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. So I think what I should probably do is put down some basting so that I can take the pins out and play around. So let's do that. There we are. It's a thrifted thread. Oops. There we are. And I'm not really going to make a knot. Oops, I'm going to get them all. There we are. I'm just going to do a quick little back stitch, and it should hold it enough for my purposes, and then be really easy to pick out. Whoops. Oh, I am sorry. Oh, you're still moving. Let's sort of stop while you move. Stop the shaking. And I can have some more tea. Clearly, I'm an enthusiastic sewer. So these basting stitches are just to attach the fabric layers to each other. So that when I do the final sewing on it, and also when I do the ironing on it, that everything isn't shifting. This method is, I don't know if you remember seeing the Cantha quilt square that I made. This is essentially the methodology that they use to create the Cantha quilt. And if you watch Rachel at Roxy Creations at all, you will know this is one of her favorite ways of being able to create some stability. Oh, and I'm a knob. I will tell you why I'm a knob. Because the way that I should have started this, so do as I say, not as I do, is do a first X like this, so down the center one way, down to the center of the other, and then do the strips so that you can not have puckering. So let's assume that's the center of something, and we're going to go down the center here. Second first, same as the first. One quick baste. And then just a bunch of long stitches. And I rarely sew without a thimble of some kind. Need to be careful. And you can just get sort of quicker just going up and down, sort of feeding the material onto the needle. Oh! Okay, so that isn't even attached. Well, there's your problem. That one isn't attached either. All right, well, hang on. It is now. Don't know if you can hear that in the background. That's somebody somewhere that's got a car alarm beeping off. Here we are. It's not going to get me anywhere, and it is okay. So let's try across. Let's try across, maximizing the amount of catches that we get. So that's kind of where the middle is. So let's try this. I'm still thinking of other ways of making this journal cover interesting. And related to that is I still have my $3 budget burning an absolute hole in my pocket. Because who doesn't love having permission to spend money? And permission to spend money on junk journal materials is just the best. And so one of the things that I was thinking of is that this is literally all yellow and green, and I need to introduce the color red and that kind of orangey orange that we used in the painting. And I'm thinking that maybe small buttons, certainly red thread, will do very nicely. I'm going to move that over one finger because that's the one I keep using. There we are. And so the thought I had this morning was, oh, I can go and get some red buttons. Longtime viewers will know that I probably have more buttons than I have cents. And I probably have a stash full of enough red buttons to cover this small piece of real estate. What did I just do there? I just got caught. Pardon my fat head. There we are. Oh, come on. Oh, there we are. This isn't a straight line, but I want to be able to get this started to be tacked down. So I'm going to have to look at my red button stash to see how much, or if I can, if I have enough. I think all pretty much know that I have enough. And part of me is really sad because I have a $3 budget for this journal and I haven't spent it yet. And it's kind of killing me. I'm not going to lie, one of the reasons why I'm going to the library is to have a look at their on sale books, or they have a permanent book sale of, donations that are good books that they can't use in the stacks, and then also their rotating of the stack items. I'm going to go this way now and catch the rest of that. Okay, let's do it this way. It's easier. And I can't help but think that I should press now just to see what it looks like, because this, I should have needed to have pressed it. I don't know what that is as a verb tense. Before I started doing any of the sewing and not just the basting. So what I might do is go do that and then come back. What are we at for time? We're at 45 minutes. Okay, well, getting this basted and pressed, I think would be pretty good. Which way are we going here? We're going this way. That's going to be tight. That's okay. We could patch it. We could patch it. Okay, there we are. Is that stable enough? I think everybody's patched some way or another. So we've got one of those, got that, up and down, across, that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away. I'm going to do my magic clap. And when I come back, one hopes I have this pressed. So I'm going to fold this up, just go like that, go clap, and we're back. Here she is ironed. It looks so much better ironed. I also ironed the cover while I was up, because there was a couple of spots where it was just not clean. But that's going to be beautiful. Very happy with that. Okay, start timer again. Here we are. So, I think we've got enough basting done that we can keep it stable. And so I want to move on to the fun stuff, which is embellishing. And so my thought, well, one of my thoughts actually is that this would make an amazing pocket. I don't think it's going to be, but it could be. So here's one of the things that I thought of doing. And then doing the same thing with all of the other spots. Oh, that'd be perfect place for a corner. I need to know where the middle is. So I think the middle is going to be easier. Figured it there. That's gonna, yes. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, it's just the way the material is. Okay. So I can see part of a line, which is here. Come on, you can do it. And, oh, it's right on. There. And I'm just going to do this so that I can get a sense of where the center is. The reason why I want to know where the center is so that I don't accidentally create a huge amount of bulk with whatever I put on top before I sew the signature in. So had we done the idea of this corner bit, it would have been, and I still might do it. Still might do it because it looks fun. And then all the way up like that. Yeah. Which side is the right side and which side is the wrong side? So I think this is the right side. And then this would go all the way over, and then all the way up. And it is not apple-y in the literal sense, but it is natural in the right colorways. Missing red, so maybe red thread is the way I should put these things down in sort of a crazy quilt kind of way as well, sort of put some of these patches on. Another thing that I was thinking of as well is just putting the letter A down somewhere, and A would be perfect for that spot there, because I don't want to cover that up because that's gorgeous. So now I've stopped working. And now I'm just chattering and thinking. So I think I'm getting close to my time being up. And I'm not going to do a pocket for that, even though it is naturally screaming for one. I can ignore the screams. Yeah, I think that'll do just fine. Okay. So I think here is where I'm going to let you go. Made it almost an hour, so that's pretty good. Made a huge amount of progress in terms of getting this cover sorted. That's great. Really appreciate that. Oh, also, just as an FYI, I'm going to find Natasha at Treasure Books. I think she calls them a formula for signature pages, and I'll copy that into my sort of reference document. And hilariously, I have paint here, I've got tea stains here. I feel like this is 100% my little lab book, which I'm loving. This is really helpful. Another thing that I need to do is circle back to this list. Thank you, Cindy at Studio Lou. And pick out things that we want to make. One of which is 100% going to be a fabric flip, altered paper clips, shaker card, that's the one I was looking for. We've already done collage boards. And then we need to do pockets, belly bands, maybe a cluster. We've already done the Rolodex cards, and maybe make a postcard. But this is an outstanding guide for, hey, here are some fun things to make to put in a journal. And I think I'm going to probably be keeping this as a working reference document, because it really covers a lot of things that I really enjoy making and are created for the purposes of putting into a journal, and Cindy has also put in a ton of pocket options that are here as well, which is also something that I am strongly in support of. So I think that's all for now. When we next meet again, I'm hoping to have some progress, if not completed this, and it shouldn't take me too long at all. And or we can work on doing some of the ephemera, because I can't put the signature in until I get this done. So that's all for now. Thank you, as always, for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you real soon. Bye now.